Ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday night again at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you're on the West Coast, as the magnificent Motorhead is, it would be 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. My name is Johnny Bottles, and this is the...
Easy killer. Easy killer.
Bubba the Wonder Dog. I thought he was going to hump my leg for a minute there. Get down. Good Lord Almighty. Welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name's Johnny Bottles. Once again, I'll remind you of that. To my left is Dancing Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist on Twitter. Look him up one time if you have a problem with swearing off AEW or any sundry indie promotion where they slap their thighs a lot when they do super kicks, and they're all spindly young men. Down below, we have the Grand Poobah, the Grand Inquisitor, the king of the SCM, the Squared Circle Maniacs chapter on Twitter, the Magnificent Motorhead 711. AKA, you know what, Don?
The Hobo Killer.
The Hobo Killer, yes. Motor, how you doing?
Got a question.
Great. Wonderful.
Did I see this right? We're going to talk about NWA and AEW?
Yes.
All right. One moment, gentlemen.
Oh. Well, we're going for the big shooter stuff there, buddy. Woo!
Hey, pal, email me a shot of that, will you?
All right, that ought to do it.
Yeah. Folks,
I'm going to need every bit of this. Holy hell of a hand grenade.
Sometimes, and we've said many times on this show, Motorhead, that the backstage drama, the backstage machinations and maneuverings of the pro wrestling business is more fascinating than what goes on outside in front of the cameras and in the ring.
I'm glad you said this, because before we even went on, our man Chris was dropping news like it's hot. Did you see this?
I haven't seen that yet.
It's in motion. I looked it up. It's been reported on several sites now. Vince McMahon has sold $730 million worth of stock, 8.4 million shares.
And we told everybody weeks ago. We told everybody weeks ago that they want him gone.
The exodus is not. I think we're getting closer and closer to the end of this whole thing.
Yes, they want him out the door, Motorhead.
That's right.
Woo, that's going to be a stiff one, boys. Here's to you.
There you go.
Here's.
Yes.
Where do we want to start tonight? Because the biggest news was that, I don't even know how to say this. Did WWE take the thunder from NWA just out of nowhere? Because Billy Corgan announced on Busted Open Radio that he had a deal imminent to be on television.
2 shows. NWA Power, and a reality show. And CW said, we would love that. We also want the film rights to your wedding. We want to film your wedding that's coming up soon. And that will be on the reality show. Someone actually married the Lex Luthor of professional wrestling, Billy Corgan. But be that as it may, it all begins when they had that pay-per-view. Was it last weekend? Chris will probably chime in and tell me if it was last weekend or not.
Yeah, it was last weekend, and they had a segment that has got CW very much pumping the brakes because they had a Sean Ross Sapp moment, only this one was fake, whereas the other one was real, where someone pretended to do a line of blow on the pay-per-view. You are got to be shitting me, man, when you've got a deal on record about to go down to sign your company that has been kept away on the internet, swept away into the darkness that no one watches. And you do this on your big show for the week, your big pay-per-view. And then the NXT comes in and says, nope, that's my spot now. Bye-bye.
Performing in front of 150 people in a little seedy a hall that someone would get married in. That's where they perform, and it looks low rent. The talent, some of the talent's top notch, but the whole production values and everything looks low rent, and it would get a big shot in the arm with the TV money from the TV deal. For way it stands right now, Don. I'll give you an update. Father James Mitchell was doing some cocaine. Now we know where TK gets his coke. Father James Mitchell was in TNA, the Dixie Carter era, and the Vince Russo early era of TNA. He was known as Father James Mitchell. The Sinister Minister was his handle. And he also, his side job is doing karaoke in the state of Florida. Little Devil Karaoke, I believe the name of it is, where he's got the whole gimmick with the red suit and he's got the eyebrows teased up. He's grew his eyebrows out long so they come up like they're satanic. And he's supposedly the guy's got a hell of a singing voice. Supposedly,
I don't even care. I don't even care. I do not care. Here's my issue. You had a TV deal on a network TV. You had a TV deal, and somebody greenlit this.
Billy Corgan greenlit it. Billy Corgan greenlit it. His response was, it's no more than what you saw in the Crockett era of the NWA with sex, drugs, and violence, or in the Attitude Era of WWE. I guarantee you, during the Attitude Era, no one did a line of blow on camera, and
no one.
You never saw Road Warrior Hawk do a line of blow on camera in the Crockett's NWA, because that really would be something to see.
You did, but it was backstage camera on that VHS video that came out years later.
Oh, okay.
Technically they did, but it was after the fact, and it was way gone after that. Anyway,
coming to preferred flea markets near you folks, bootleg copies. Yeah.
What a complete and total moronic move to do when you've got this on the deal. And here's what they're reporting the deal to be: 5 years, between $20 and $25 million a year. Mm-hmm. That ain't bad for a product that is essentially your starter company, right? That's like getting a contract if you're a AAA baseball team. You're not ready for prime time. But here's the other thing. We were looking at it earlier this week, Johnny. Or at least I think I said it to you. The CW's ratings, their highest rated show now is like, what, 400,000 people or 500 at most, something along those lines?
I think I've saved that somewhere along the lines here. Let me take a look real quick.
NXT this week did like 790,000 people or 795, something crazy high. And they didn't even bring out the big guns. They didn't even bring out the big guns.
They have a show they've got a show in their Monday nights. I just want to line this up with the right month. There was a show in August that did 600,000 viewers almost. There was a show in July on a Friday night that did a little over 600,000 viewers. So, and that's an anomaly. Usually they're right around the 425 mark as an average.
And I was looking that up. It's just, can you imagine if 600,000 people, and that's, I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but for that network, 600,000 people once a week tuning into your program, and it leads me to question, where does that stand with NWA coming on TV and all now? Like, is that deal dead?
Nope. Nick Houseman has reported that they're going to be on the app, the CW app only. NWA Power will go from they'll be going from an internet TV show to another internet TV show through the CW app. The reality series will also be through the CW app. I guess they want to see how it goes with that. And I can guarantee you they're not getting $25 million just for a show and an app. No.
Mm-hmm. Just want to say again, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Thanks, Ron, everybody, SCM. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Where do we want to go next? Because there's a lot to get through this week, man. And this was the hammer that when I saw it, I thought nothing's going to top this, and then here we go.
The rumor going around the locker room of the NWA is a lot of the talent is pissed off, and a lot of those guys are just working on appearance deals and handshake deals.
Yeah, I know.
And they're all looking for other greener pastures right now. Yes, escape routes.
For that escape.
Half of the roster is looking to leave because they think he doesn't know what he's doing.
I know he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. You don't pull some shit like that on a pay-per-view if you know what the hell you're doing. When you've got a contract with a network company that's going to put you on TV. Dude, it doesn't take a genius to do this. Neckbeards knew this was a bad idea when it happened. Neckbeards were throwing Cheetos and Mountain Dew at the TV screaming, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Another millionaire who thinks he can book a wrestling TV show.
Shot himself in the foot big time.
Big time.
In other news, Johnny, you turned me on to something this week that I didn't realize was happening.
What was that?
Who is on the WWE alumni page now?
CM Punk.
That was CM Punk, of course.
That's news in itself because he had been blackballed for almost a decade from anything associated with the WWE. Like just blackballed, couldn't mention it, nothing was said. That's kind of a big deal to me, man. That's sort of look, here's a few breadcrumbs, boys. Can you follow my breadcrumbs? Let's get to the gingerbread house. Because come Survivor Series, if I don't hear like Mussolini, I'm going to pull out a remote and chuck it at the wall. I better hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that Wild Turkey 100 proof is starting to kick in right now.
It's go time.
It's go time.
Yeah, I think
So-
we were talking the other day, Don. I sent you a text about that, about the CM Punk deal, and he showed up on the page. And then I'm the one that said, "Man, Survivor Series, here we come. Let's do it. Let's shoot it."
There's a man on Twitter, Don, who runs the WrestleNomics website. He occasionally drops some nuggets on Twitter. His name is Brandon Thurston. He's behind a paywall on his website, but he will offer some nuggets of info in his Twitter account under his own name.
All right.
From Brandon Thurston, he says, "I've been saying this for 4 years, and I still get clueless nerds telling me that AEW is profitable. They can get double their current TV rights deal, and they would still be losing money. At one point, he needs to cut the bleeding soon." And
did he say something about 200 million?
here's his original statement. Here's his original statement he posted on Reconomics. "I'm confident they aren't profitable now. They need to make $200 million a year in media rights fees to get the profitability. They'll get some increase. They'll get some increase. They could get triple what they're getting now. It's not unreasonable. But he's going to continue to run the company and do what he's doing, whether it's profitable or not."
Jeez. What a great
So it's going well. It's going well.
Good strategy.
Going well.
So right now, he's pissing away $200 million a year.
Pissing it all away.
Now he does Collision, a 2-hour show.
Terrible.
He does Dynamite, a 2-hour show.
Worse.
Garbage.
And I'm not even going to mention Rampage. That's
Non-existent.
Garbage.
Page.
Now I heard a quote in production values, the trucks, the backstage staff,
The cameras.
the camera personnel, the people that set the rings up, the stage has to get set up. That all comes off of a truck. The Titantron, the announce tables, all that. The announcers, that's all covered for $1 million a show in WWE.
Good God, son.
For a 2-hour show like SmackDown, it cost them $1 million to put that show on with all the production trucks and everything else. And so let's hash it out this way: 52 times 52 plus 52. He does one new show a week of Dynamite, one new show a week of Collision. I'm not even going to count Rampage. He's got those 2 shows. Collision is also a separate live event, which means they don't tape Collision. Only when they have a pay-per-view, they'll tape Collision. But they have, with Rampage, they will tape Rampage after Dynamite or before Collision, depending upon how backed up they are. So you're looking at $104 million right there if his production costs are the same as WWE, which they probably aren't, but maybe
They probably aren't, but they're got to be within the same ballpark. If you're renting the same buildings like an idiot, I mean, what are you going to do?
$2 million a week.
Expensive as shit.
$2 million a week.
Morons.
He's spending $2 million a week to put on these shows, and that's not counting the roster payroll. Moxley's getting $5 million a year. The last I heard. Reportedly, Danielson's getting $3 million a year for having a couple matches and breaking a bone and going out for a while.
I got no words.
I got no words either. God only knows who he's paying Jericho, the Bucks. They get 2 paychecks.
Yep.
Omega gets 2 paychecks because he's EVP.
We do have to have
all the way. That money, just light it on fire. There you go, Tony. Good job, bud.
Or give it to me. I'll do something better with it you're doing. Jesus
I would
Christ.
like to have some of that.
And feed the homeless some for that much for you.
You'll spend it on you'll spend it on wild turkey, hookers, and blow. That's what you'll spend it on.
They're all right.
Here's some more news that just broke, and we got to have a moment of silence for Jimmy.
Yes. Poor Jimmy C81 from Twitter. A renowned
The bunny
Twitter
has
account.
been released. She is gone. and she was one of his favorites. My man tweeted about her nonstop. That was his favorite female performer on TV, and she's gone. And I don't know where she's going from here. I can't imagine she's going to WWE. I can't imagine she's on their radar.
She can't wrestle. That's why she was always hurt in AEW. The last injury she had, I believe, she had 3 concussions all in a row. She hasn't been on TV to wrestle matches. And generally they'll tell you when you can't add 2 and 2, it takes you a while, and bright light hurts your eyes. They'll say, it's time. You need to knock this off. And her boyfriend is the Blade in the tag team, Butcher and the Blade. I don't know how long they are for AEW. I have no idea what their contract statuses are of half these talents in AEW, but
that's a group I like. That's a group I like that have the look. I like that group.
I like that group. Old school look, man. They
did.
Like them. Mm-hmm.
They certainly did.
So we need to get into this because it's been all over the place, man. The WWE Raw show, where it's going. Johnny, you told me what was going on. I looked into it today. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Where did you hear they're going?
They're going to the cable channel FX, which is not owned by Fox. It used to be owned by Fox. When Disney came in and purchased Fox programming, they didn't buy Fox News Channel, and they didn't buy Fox Cable Television, the network TV. They didn't buy the Fox network TV. The Murdochs still run that. That was their original businesses. They would have keep their fingers in the pie. The movie studio, 20th Century Fox, all the intellectual properties, and FXX is another channel they have. There's another cable channel that I don't have that the name escapes me for right now, but it's minor. They're all owned by Disney now. So, Monday Night Raw, it might not be Monday Night Raw anymore. It just might be Raw, Tuesday Night Raw. Wednesday Night Raw.
That's what I'm waiting to hear. Are you going to drop that hammer on Wednesday night? And here's my other issue with the whole thing. FX is not it's not a huge subscription platform channel, right?
No.
Right.
USA Network is almost included in everything that you get. I believe you have to pay a separate subscription for FX. For a lot of them, maybe not yours, but a lot of them, it's not included in your basic cable package. A lot of them, it's a secondary option. So that sort of makes me wonder. I don't know how many TVs it's available on a regular cable package. I'm sure it's available across the country like Fox Sports, but it's not included in your basic cable channel.
When I was in Maryland, I had Xfinity and I had Verizon, and FX was part of the basic cable package. FXX was not, however. Here's the other channel, Fox Movies. Fox Movies is the other cable.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's a thing?
That's a thing. You have to pay extra for it.
Wow.
So, yeah. FX is included in basic cable, much like TBS and TNT. And, hey, God bless them. They'll be under the Disney umbrella there. Maybe they'll archive some content on Disney+. Who knows?
Can you imagine if Warner Brothers Discovery comes sweeping in and snatches this out of nowhere? Can you just...
The deal's already done. The deal's already done.
Supposedly. It's not in the books. Until they announce it, I won't believe it because it came out of Dave Meltzer. It came from Dave Meltzer.
How much are they paying?
It's supposed to come out tomorrow. Be announced tomorrow. 48 hours.
Copy that.
We'll see. I'll believe it when I read it and hear it out of their own mouth. I don't trust a damn thing Dave Meltzer has to say anymore. They feed that guy so much false information now. They feed him so much false information anymore, man. You had that dude is talking out of his ass. That's why he's going to a completely paid platform. So you can hear his lies only one way. He controls his board, he controls his platform. Piss on that guy, man.
He's had a paid platform for years on the internet. You'd have to pay to get the Wrestling Observer newsletter and the message board on his website through the internet.
Piss on him.
Piss on him.
But if Dave Meltzer said tomorrow, if he announced that, if I saw him on YouTube with Alvarez and he's holding his microphone like he doesn't know what to do with it, and he says, hang on, and he says, well, the deal altogether, well, you know, they really shopped that around, and if the deal with FX, the deal with FX is a go, and they're officially announcing it in 1 hour. That would sound like Mariah Carey singing to me. In her dulcet tones, and and it's going to be on TNT.
Oh, dude. Let that happen. Let that happen, dude.
Yeah,
The Jacksonville jerk-off would have a heart attack.
It would come unglued. It'd be unglued time.
Yes.
Is there any other news that we're missing right now? Because there was so much to cover. I think that was the big news for the day. Guys, if you're watching, did we miss anything that's struck? We're going to get into AEW and the god-awful show that was. Well, I say but it wasn't awful.
Ratings, NXT ratings, 794,000 viewers.
That's impressive. That's
Very
impressive.
And they had, the only main roster stars they had on was Alpha Academy. That was it. Otis, Gable, Otis, Maxine Dupree, and Akira Tozawa. Those four had a couple different matches on NXT. And they drew that many people with newbies and Alpha Academy. AEW Dynamite. What was their final rating, Don?
Hold on. I want to get into that when we do the show.
Oh,
when we actually talk about what this was. Because what this was, he's here, he's there, he's every freaking where. Friedman!
MJF.
Everywhere, dude. They have stretched him so thin, he's going to get anorexic. But last night, I will say he had a hell of a spray tan going on to cover up that back knee he's got going right now. That spray tan was something. That was next level, bro. That spray tan was next level.
It looks like they picked him up by his feet and dipped him in a tank of spray tan.
Little steroids cover you up, little steroid bumps. And I don't give a shit. I don't care that he's doing it, but that's what he should have been doing from day one, is tanning a little bit more or doing something to hide a little bit better.
We haven't talked about Tony Khan declined talks with CW about a Ring of Honor TV deal. The CW wanted Ring of Honor at the beginning of summer, and he had a little party, down in Florida. He had a little party for the CW execs, and he thought he was going to get a big deal. But apparently, they didn't offer enough money for what he thinks Ring of Honor is worth. Ring of Honor, Tony Khan, isn't worth shit. It's not worth a damn.
And after that TV title fiasco last night, it just reaffirms that information, that thought that we had. Do we want to get into AEW now and talk about this shit show?
Let's go.
I mean, if you got it queued up, we can get into it. But it started off the way it's been starting off, with MJF leading the way in a back. This is what I don't get. Why is MJF in a backstage interview before he's about to have the first match of the night? Why is that a doubleheader? Why is that happening?
He's all they got, dude. He's all they got. He's a proven ratings draw since Punk's gone. That's all they've got.
And clearly Adam Cole is on the mend. He's had his surgery. I didn't mind MJF. I didn't think it should have been there. But then Bottle's favorite wrestler came in. Rolled his ass in. And what did he do again?
He did his little dance. Oh, no. Adam.
Oh, yeah. You're
Adam!
Dude, that's on my last nerve. That is officially on my last nerve. It was, at first, it was just irritating. Now it's goddamn annoying. It's just annoying now how they're doing this whole thing.
Terrible. Nails on the chalkboard. Terrible.
We don't have to go through this thing in depth, but look, man, Daniel Garcia has changed channel heat with me. He just does. Nothing about this guy makes me want to watch him wrestle. And nothing about it.
He looks like he's the bastard son of one of those guys from who are those three comics that
the Three Stooges.
No, they're on. Yes, he looks like Shemp Howard. I'm sorry, he's the bastard. I'm talking about the guys who do Impractical Jokers from True TV.
Oh, that.
The skinny guy with the little chubby face, balding on top. Murph, I think his name is. He looks like he could be Murph's son. Murph's bastard son.
What came out of this?
Accent on bastard.
I was seriously, and Bottles had a watch along last night. Went pretty well. Looked like you guys were having fun. I checked it out for about 10 or 15 minutes. Looked like a good time. Couple of left-handed cigarettes, a few drinks going on.
A lot of comments. Very cool. Very cool. Everyone chimed in.
Yeah.
Might have to be something we look at doing Wednesday night before Thanksgiving if everybody's interested. I like that little concept you had going on there. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I'll stick around for 2 hours of frickin' AEW, though, straight. I tip my hat. I don't know how you did it because I was in and out of this thing all night. What was next, Bottles?
It was copious amounts of alcohol involved. That's all I
There
can
you
say.
go.
That's how I had to get through it.
That's how you can do it.
After that, it had a little post-match angle where MJF tried to be a good guy and shake hands with
That's
Garcia.
right. You tried to shake his hand. Yeah.
Yes, and your friend, Cool Hand Ang, as you refer to him, the Vietnamese guy, Cool Hand Ang.
Whatever.
And Waterhead Menard came out. And
they did it twice. That's what made it worse.
Right.
Did it twice. Once wasn't bad enough. They did it twice.
Right.
Larry said he hung out the whole time and was watching Simon and Simon reruns.
Oh, that a boy, Larry. Classic TV show. One of my favorites.
Damn you, Larry. Larry, I punished myself so you wouldn't have to.
The Sting and Darby Allin thing, can we just... Sting looked so bad in that match. I'm sorry. Did you see the part where he sort of almost went out the ropes but didn't go out the ropes, and they brought him back in when Darby went out the ropes? Did you see that spot?
It was like he lost track of where he was supposed to be, and they had to go and remind him. And that was the Outrunners, whoever the hell the Outrunners are. They looked like they were a team plucked from the NWA circa 1987.
Right.
Turbo Fluid and Truth Magnum, the Outrunners. The one guy had a hell of a mullet, though. Hell of a mullet.
And I know there were some segments here and there scattered throughout the show. I can't remember where they were or what they were off the top of my head. So if you see something, let me know. The one where I finally said, I can't take this shit anymore. L0, I was done, dude.
Checked up once.
Oh, yeah.
He's put it out there, Gil. We've checked on him a couple times, buddy. We've checked on him a couple times.
He's okay. Mariah May. They picked up Mariah May in AEW, so Jimmy's okay for right now.
Who?
When Swerve Strickland is left to his own devices with these trampoline acts, it's unwatchable hot trash. I like Swerve, but when he's not in there with a pro's pro, this is the dreck you get.
He's trying to wrestle a regular wrestling match, and he's got a Mexican jumping bean flying all around the ring and doing his sign language for the hearing impaired wrestling fans. And the kid's got a great look. Pienta, Miedo, El Desiro, whatever. Maybe I left out a few consonants there. He's got a great look, great looking gimmick. He can fly around the ring. There's no selling. Pile drivers.
Trying to put a square peg in a round hole, man. It don't fit.
Power bombs, pile drivers. He gets right back up again. No
selling the shit out of everything.
Selling. Yep.
And then to top it off, Butterfly Pants came down and beat the shit out of Swerve Strickland and put him through a table.
Which is ridiculous. Why have the match?
Utterly ridiculous. Why have the match? You just beat the shit out of it and let them lay it after a match you had. Why even have it now? Why have it? We mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. Why did Edge get to spear Christian when they haven't touched to this point?
Right.
I don't understand what they're doing in this company. Now, don't get me wrong. WWE has angles like this all the time, but it's usually with like a Brock Lesnar. But it's usually the heel is getting one over all the time on the babyface.
Right.
That's just it's reverse booking that they have going on here. I don't get
it. It is. I was just thinking that while you were rambling on there. It's reverse booking. Reverse booking. Tony Schiavone was backstage with Tony Storm and Hikaru Shida. And that's another one that...
Good point, Mike.
Tony Storm is... What's that? You know when bands go live? Put up...
He said the same thing. When they're going backwards. They're doing it backwards.
Yep. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Tony Storm is one of the best gimmicks that they have. At least she's trying. She's trying something. Even though it's a stolen gimmick, at least she's trying something. And she is pretty talented. She's good in the gimmick. She really is.
That sucked last night. That sucked.
You're trying to do a promo with someone who can't speak.
She could speak, just not very well.
Not very well.
It's almost like it was in Braille, you guys. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Just...
I had to touch my TV screen to see what she was saying.
What the hell?
It was just so bad in every... Tony Schiavone's sitting there like a dumbass on a log. What are you... I'm here. That was his whole role.
Somebody, please, for God's sake. For Dynamite beard. Yeah, he did have a probably he was on a 2-box program of Just for Men in that beard, a 2-box program, and I will say Tony Schiavone is in dire need of a Ricola. He really is, or some sort of throat lozenge. That voice is shot. He sounds like he sounds like he's up to 3 packs of Marlboros a day. That's what he sounds like.
I love Tony Schiavone, but he should. His best segment is when they actually let him interview somebody instead of just standing there like a moron.
Yeah.
Like they just half the time, instead of actually, when he was in the WCW and the NWA back in the day, when he would actually interview people, that was his best asset. Not as a play-by-play, not as the guy that would just hear so-and-so. He would actually do a pretty fairly decent interview.
Right.
And now he just sits there like, it's insane to watch him.
They take the microphone out of his hand.
Yeah, and just get out of the ring.
That's because you're in a company of people that want to get their shit in. They want to show off what they can do. And if they can't do it in a match, they'll take the microphone from Schiavone away and rant and rave. And I can tell you one thing.
Marge sent you.
I can tell you one thing. That would never happen to Gene Okerlund. Gene Okerlund would never give him the microphone.
Never in a million years.
The GOAT. Give me that damn microphone.
Absolutely.
He would throw hands.
He would. Somebody's catching these hands today, boy. You try to touch my mic.
That's right.
Next was a good match. I don't want to take away from this. Actually, I'm sorry. Next was that the Golden Jets promo, right?
Well, it was a Swerve Strickland match, and then we went to the Golden Jets promo.
Okay, let's go ahead and say this. I am not a huge fan of Kenny Omega in any shape or form. His matches, I'm not a fan. Go ahead. I'm not a fan. But the Young Bucks came off like they always do. Like shitty little snotty brats that are 7-year-olds that, you're my friend. Why are you hanging out with my friend? And Kenny Omega said what everybody's been thinking about them for the past 3 years and put it in words on national television. And all I could think was, well, he's clearly reading somebody, or he's reading the internet. He's listening to what the fans are saying because everybody's sick of these guys. And Chris Jericho had the line of the night when they were bitching about him being in their locker room. And Chris Jericho goes, by the way, I have my own locker room, and walked the other way. That was just a little subtlety he did that really struck it home with me. Like, way to just tell these goofs to F all the way off. Just you're useless. They have never been more worthless on TV right now than they ever have been right now.
Cheerleader routines. They should have mini tramps in the ring. They don't work out. They're flabby. One's losing his hair. They're not. It's getting to the point where you're not going to be able to call them young bucks anymore. They're going to be called middle-aged bucks.
Yep, middle-aged.
Because they're almost 40. They're almost 40.
Mike Digital said Conrad Thompson made Tony Schiavone look like a goof because of their podcast. Honestly, I never listened to it. I didn't listen to that podcast. I didn't have any interest in it. He just comes off as a goof to me now. Just a complete goof.
Schiavone?
I didn't have to hear his podcast to see what he is now. He just comes off as a goof. Speaking of goofs, the next match ended with a goof spot. Keith Lee and Samoa Joe had a decent match, I thought. It was entertaining. They were big guys that were being bulls in the ring. Mo, did you watch any of it?
I did watch that match because I like Samoa Joe. Been a big fan.
I figured you'd watch the big boys. What'd you think?
Like tossing slabs of beef around the ring, man. Samoa Joe lost, but dude, that was a great match. I'm glad I didn't watch the whole thing when it came live, but I watched the match, the recap of it all today, and very good, very impressive match.
What happened to Keith Lee? What happened to him? Keith Lee used to be I used to see on Twitter, on his wife's Twitter account, where they would order Taco Bell, and he's got like the 10 taco box. He's eating that, and he's strawberry shortcake and shit like that he would eat. What happened to Keith Lee? He used to do like dives over the top rope in NXT when he was there. He used to be fantastic.
They let him talk. They let him talk in
NXT too.
But that's when they got rid of him, when he started talking. When they gave him the microphone, it was, "Hi, I'm Keith Lee, and I speak like this. I am coming to the ring.
Right.
I will probably take a shit in that ring. You will have to watch me."
In NXT, Hunter didn't mind that in NXT. Well, he would mind taking a shit in the ring, but he didn't mind.
Voice Dude,
He did not mean he did not mind Keith Lee talking like that. But when he got called up to the main roster, Vince said, "God damn, pal, what's the matter with this guy? What is he, a literature professor? Was he teaching English lit in his spare time?"
I never saw him in NXT, so when he got called to the main roster, I was like, that's not going to work for me, man. Y'all better get that dude a mic guy, because that dude ain't got it. Hi, I'm going to go to the ring now,
how are you?
read Shakespeare, and perhaps piss on Jake the Snake.
I'm sure that's been done before in the past. Oh, by the way,
I'm
gentlemen,
sure.
Carry on. I got to bail out early today again.
All right, buddy.
No problem, Chief.
Brothers. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Take her easy.
You got it.
So it ended in a way that was just like, look, this has been a big debate today all day, right? He said he's vacating the Ring of Honor TV title belt. I got no problem with that. He laid in the ring and said the next gold I strap on my waist is going to be the world title belt.
Right.
I think that's not a bad angle at all, in my opinion. But my issue was, why have the match and make Keith Lee look bad if that's what you were going to do anyway?
If you're going to make Keith Lee look bad, he would have been pinned 1, 2, 3. It was the Bret Hart Steve Austin deal where Austin never submitted to the sharpshooter. He just passed out from the pain. So that's basically what it was. Keith Lee just passed out. He didn't submit. He didn't tap, and he didn't get counted out.
Neither one of these guys are on Bret Hart's level. Neither one of them. Neither one of them. That didn't elevate Keith Lee at all.
Dude, you could make an argument for Samoa Joe. You could make an argument for Samoa Joe.
No, you can't. No,
of course you
could.
Can't. As a big man, we're coming now.
No. How many world titles has he had on a main stage? On a main stage. I rest my case.
I can't remember what he had in the early days of a Ring of Honor.
That wasn't the main stage. Steve Austin lost to a multiple-time WWF champion and didn't tap out. It put him over, and it didn't hurt him. This didn't help Keith Lee at all. It did make Samoa Joe look great, but it did nothing to help Keith Lee out of this. They'd have been better off with a double count out, and he says, to hell with it. I'm tired of defending this thing. I'm coming for the next goal.
Doesn't really matter. But if this is AEW we're talking about, doesn't really matter. If a tree falls in a forest and no one's around to hear it hit, does it make a noise? Who knows?
If Keith Lee has a match, does anybody watch? Apparently not after these ratings came out. Oh!
That was brutal, Don. If what I'm hearing is true, poor Keith Lee.
Oh my God! Holy shit! Yes!
Keith Lee was a guy that they put in to make Samoa Joe look super strong. Basically, is what they did. As Joe beat that big son of a bitch, made him pass out. He didn't submit. He passed out from that sleeper hold. What's he going to do to MJF?
Are they going to put the title on him? There's no way.
What, Samoa Joe?
Yeah, there's no way.
Oh, I think so.
Really?
I think so.
I'll bet you a pizza.
You're on.
All right. There it is, boys and girls. You heard it here live. Loser buys the winner a pizza, because I have no doubt they're not putting that title on him.
What's the time frame?
End of the year.
You got it.
All right. What was next in this debacle?
Post-match, Joe said he didn't come to Oregon just to be the TV champion. He laid the belt down in the ring, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, blah, blah.
We covered all that. I'm just reading this off the website. Backstage, Orange Cassidy, your favorite wrestler, and Hook, who are best friends.
Oh, my God. I have blanked this out of my memory. Why are you bringing this up?
Cassidy actually cut a promo on
wasn't
John
bad,
Moxley.
But
it wasn't bad. It would have made it better if he would have said, "My name is Orange Cassidy, and I don't have a catchphrase." He should have brought that catchphrase back.
I don't care what he says now. I'm never going to buy into his gimmick, because his in-ring work was bullshit for 3 years. You're too late to get me to buy into you as a performer now. Way too late. I've seen your matches. I know what they are now. They're not entertaining. It's horse shit, backyard mud show garbage. I will never, ever take you seriously as an in-ring performer again. Nothing you say is going to make me believe you.
Wasn't he in the infamous match where there were like eight Canadian destroyers all in a row?
That was the one. Yes,
and they
a couple
and him
weeks ago.
with Ray Fenix, and they both got up
Yeah.
after it. Yeah, like nothing happened. The Guns, the Bang Bang Gang, defeated the Bollywood Boys, the former Singh brothers that I found out last night. That used to be aligned with Jinder Mahal. Remember when he was the champ in WWE? The two guys in suits that followed him around, the little guys.
Yeah.
They are the
that who they
Bollywood
were?
Boys. That's who they
Okay.
were. And they, I guess
Because
they
when
got
they said the Bollywood Boys, I said, "Who the hell is that?"
who are
Chris
exactly.
said, "When pizza's on the line, shit's getting serious."
You're damn right, Chris. You're damn right. And
So here,
you like pineapple on your pizza?
it depends.
I'm gonna throw a little pineapple on your pizza just to piss you
All
off.
right. It depends. I just the Bang Bang Gang. It's sort of high and low with me, man. I don't know where you
Right.
are with it. I like the Guns, and I like oh shit, what's his name? What's this dude's? Because they're the same. They're the same guy to me, man.
Austin and Colton.
No. The guy that came out
Who?
with him. It's the same guy. I can't think of his name. The dork.
Juice Robinson. Mr.
Get rid
Tony
of that
Storm. Mr. Tony
Get
Storm.
rid of that. Get rid of that guy. I have no use for that guy. Get rid of him.
He's a good wrestler.
I don't care. He does. I can't buy into him anymore. He's done.
He's-
There's something about his persona or how he presents himself. I can't buy it. Not when he's standing next to Billy Gunn, for God's sakes.
He gives me the impression of a man down in Tampa Bay standing in a median strip with a cardboard sign that says $2 free bad advice. That's what he
Not going
reminds
there.
me of.
Ron says he calls him the caveman.
The
So I
Geico
can get into
caveman. The wrestling Geico caveman.
I'm done with this. They won. Next thing. I'm not dwelling on this shit.
Just what is Tony Storm's taste for men? If she's actually married to that repulsive, sweaty, hairy
I don't
Neanderthal.
care. I don't care.
I think about things like that in the middle of the night.
I
Drives the wife crazy.
tried not to think about it at all.
John Moxley and Weedle. Oh, God.
This shit
guy
was
is
so
just
bad.
awful. Horrible.
This is when I said I don't need to watch any more of this shit tonight, and I did not change it back. So you're going to have to tell me what happened from here. Because when they started talking, I said, John Moxley, I'm going to give you one more chance. And nope, he's moving back and forth to his own music, and then dumbass starts talking.
Turn his
I'm
back
out.
to the camera. He's hitting like a locker or a wall or whatever.
I'm out, dude.
Throws a bottle on the floor. Him and Wheeler or Yuta are backstage. Moxley says he's being calls to let Cassidy off the hook, as Cassidy didn't know what he was doing when he won back the international title. How the hell can you not know what you're doing? Why would you be
I'm
an
out.
opportunist and take that shot? He
I'm out.
he questions the example he'd be setting for Yuta, his adopted son, if he doesn't beat the piss out of Cassidy. So
Out.
there's a challenge next week for himself and Yuta against Cassidy and Hook. Yuta said Hook's messed with the wrong crew, and he'll see Hook and Callie. So
I'm out.
that match
out.
with Yuta and Hook will be official for Full Gear,
out.
if not already.
I know Julia Hart was on last night. Ron's a big fan of hers, and I think she went over, didn't she? Yeah, she won. Good
She
for
did.
Julia Hart.
She
Good
did.
for her. What's her look after? Shit. She copied her look from what's her name? Fleetwood Mac girl.
Stevie Nicks.
Yes, she copied her look from Stevie Nicks. It's a
Looks
great
like
look.
like a goth Stevie Nicks. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
I like it.
she's affiliated with the House of Black, don't you know? Oh, by the way, Roman Reigns and Aleister Black from the House of Black are going to be in a movie next year. It starts filming. I forgot the name of the movie. It's a I think they play a couple of mercenaries in a band of mercenaries. But
You know what it's
Aleister
not
Black, what's it not called?
It's not called the Claw, the Iron Claw. I can't wait to see that
Not
shit.
called the Iron Claw. That's
I
correct.
can't wait to see that movie, man. I will be seeing that over Christmas vacation. I am off for a week and a half. You said movie. I am chomping at the bit to see this thing. And all the wrestling fans out there that don't know the story of the Von Erichs, they think they're going to go see a wrestling show. Like a lot of the people out there think it's a family that wrestled, yes, but their story behind the scenes is so tragic.
It's not a feel-good movie of the winter, folks. It's not a
It is
feel-good
a
movie for the holiday season. It's
is
a downer.
It is
It's a downer.
Shakespearean tragedy is what it is.
And it's also the story of one man from that family who rose above all of that
Yeah.
to have a happy life. So
Anyway, moving on to the final thing of the night.
Don, you know that Roman Reigns in the Aleister Black movie that I just mentioned? You know when they're going to start filming that probably?
I'm going to guess March, April timeframe.
The weekend after WrestleMania. Because that's when he's supposed to drop the belt. I'm just guessing. Because he's supposed to drop the belt to Cody Rhodes. WrestleMania 4-0.
Last night, Mark Briscoe, where the hell have you been? Dude's been gone for months. I forgot he was still on the roster. He faced off against holding the belt for hostage Jay White.
Well, we left off a new addition to the roster.
I don't think we did.
You scrubbed right over that. Mariah May. Moving on.
And the crowd goes silent.
Moving on.
That was it, dude. Like, I don't want to get too much into it. The big thing that happened at the end was the Devil made his appearance at the end of the show.
Right. The Mark Briscoe and Switchblade Jay White match was nothing. If you haven't seen it, it was nothing. The schmaz at the end of it is what made the show. Or what made the it was the capper of the show. It was done well.
I don't care. The backstage thing with the Devil. I swear, dude, if Jack Perry is the Devil mask, like everybody's thinking it is now after last night's glass scene, you talk about a fart in church moment for a big reveal. That could have gone so many different ways.
Okay. This is what I'm going to do while you're talking. I'm going to look up the non-compete clause of WWE wrestlers. When did Dolph Ziggler get released?
See, that would make sense, and it would be huge. Because you don't have to have him to be the guy in the mask, right? You don't have to have that. See, right. And I know some people are saying it's Britt Baker. People keep saying it's Britt Baker.
It could be.
It could be, but I don't understand that either. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You're going to tell me a woman's beating the hell out of the men? What? What?
No. The Devil doesn't beat anybody up. The Devil just stands there. And the other four guys do the damage. Question is, who are the other four guys?
Well, if they're doing that, then hello, are you copying the Judgment Day much? Like, get your own original storyline. Because that's what that is.
He was released on September 21st. So
30, 60, is it a 90-day? Well, if he was released...
It's a 90-day non-compete.
Can they
September, October, November, released? November, December. So, at a pay-per-view after December 21st, he could appear. If they can hold off that long without revealing who he is, who the Devil is.
God, I don't know if they can.
It could be him. And I'm looking at Mustafa Ali from WWE. No. Could be him.
Another fart in church. Another fart in church.
Could it be Top Dollar?
Dude, I'll break my television. Break my TV. Chris seems to think it's the return of Retribution.
Yes.
I don't care either way. If it's anything other than Dolph right now, in my opinion, it's not going to be worth it. I just don't think it's going to be worth it. That would be a big headline. That would make me want to watch.
Do you think Tony Khan is smart enough to have an elaborate angle?
No.
Now, hear me out on this. Hear me out.
You lost me at smart enough.
Hear me out on this.
Let me suspend my disbelief.
Is it possible? Yeah, suspend your disbelief for a second. Take another sip of Wild Turkey and let me finish, and then you can comment on what I'm about to say. Do you think he's that smart to plan out a long-term angle where he appears to have an angle in front of all the talent backstage at Wembley Stadium with CM Punk and fire him and have that circulated throughout all the dirt sheets that Punk is fired? And then he's not fired. He's still employed. He's doing his own thing. He's home. He's doing his MMA commentating. He's visiting friends in Impact and WWE. And at the next pay-per-view, will it be the culmination of the angle where they reveal who the Devil is? And he takes the mask off and it's CM
You have
Punk.
gone so far down the rabbit hole. We are in another goddamn dimension.
They are all talking about that online. Adam Cole's too easy. A lot of people say it's Adam Cole. It's too easy.
Every neckbeard on earth wants it to be CM Punk so that they can say they're telling a long-term story. Everyone wants to say that. It's not going to be him. I I'm moving on. That was that. I do have something to share with you that dropped today. Did you see Logan Paul doing photo shoots with his U.S. title today?
Yes, the one in the shower. I hope somebody. I hope they dip that. I hope that's dipped in a vat of Lysol before it gets passed on to anyone else.
You talk about a guy that gets into the wrestling business. That dude gets it. That is absolutely amazing.
I like the one in bed where he's asleep. The girlfriend's hugging him. She's spooning him from behind,
and he's got
holding
the
title belt like a baby.
Dude, this is absolutely golden. They know what they're doing with this guy. I tip my hat to him. Way to go. I did see I wondered where Carmella was on WWE. I didn't know she was pregnant.
Oh, yeah, she was pregnant. Yeah, she was filled with the demon seed of Corey Graves. And now that resulted in a newborn baby boy. God bless him. I hope he doesn't look like Corey Graves.
And I wanted to leave on this because I know we're getting low on time here. But John Cena, the strike is over, right? But did you see the latest news on Cena?
He had the Merry Melodies, the old Looney Tunes sign off. That's all, folks.
He is expected to be at WrestleMania 40 as a participant.
Good. That's a one-shot deal. He probably has nothing going on at the time. He's probably got to film that show, The Peacemaker, for Max, the Max app.
I still haven't seen it. Is that any good?
It's the production values, special effects are fantastic, but it's a lot of stupid comedy that's all of James Gunn's work. The guy from the Guardians of the Galaxy, he's got a lot of that going on in there. He wrote the show, directed the show.
The U.S. title's gotten more publicity this week than it has in the last year. Exactly.
Yes, and a higher chance of having chlamydia.
Oh, he's humping the belt in the shower. That's classic. One big takeaway from Raw before we go. They're bringing it back, Bottles.
What's that, pal? War Games.
War Games is back.
It's 5-on-5, buddy. It's 5-on-5.
Series, right?
It's 5-on-5. In the ring, they left 4-on-4. Who are the fifth guys on the mystery men on each side?
You know who it is. You and I have been talking about it for weeks who it's going to be.
We said Randy Orton. Randy Orton on the face side with Cody. He's got a history with Cody. And I say Drew McIntyre will show up as the fifth guy for the Judgment Day.
I agree. Here is the kicker and the nuts. What if Randy Orton turns halfway through the match?
Wow.
That's very Randy Orton-ish. Because you know they're going to pop. You know you can't bring him out as a heel right away. They're going to blow for him. He's been gone for so long. Fans are dying to see him. If he was to turn on that tee 10 minutes into this match, dude, the heat would be awesome. I think they'd have some real heat.
He would turn on Cody and have a big program with Cody.
Exactly.
Going into the Royal Rumble.
Yep. I could see it. I could see it.
I like happy stoner Randy Orton. Jokey Randy Orton. I like that guy. He could be the next Stone Cold. But
I like the Viper. Bottles, I think that's all I got today, buddy. Oh, tomorrow, boys and girls, we are going to have another Flashback Friday. We had the poll this week, and we are going to talk about Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and the biggest run he ever had versus, let me tell you something, brother, the Hulkster himself. This was a long run. It lasted almost 7 months. It was incredible. It set up what would become the way WWF would start shooting angles and how they did business moving forward. Lot to cover on that show tomorrow, Bottles. Have you looked into it much this week?
No, I plan on doing that, watching those video links you sent me. I'm going to watch that tonight. There's no wrestling on tonight. Well, there's Impact, but like I said, there's no wrestling on tonight. So I'll watch that then, or TNA, whatever they're going by now. I think it changes over to TNA after the first of the year. I'll check that out then.
It's the first of the year, TNA, first of the year. Got your titties and ass, first of the year.
If that show opens in the first week of January to that theme song, I'll piss my pants.
Dude, if I was already, it's tits and ass wrestling.
That would be hilarious.
All you neckbeards across the country, put down the Cheetos.
Did we cover all the latest news? I'm not sure.
That's it, buddy. We're good.
That's all you got? Oh, we didn't cover the ratings for AEW Dynamite.
That's right. Yes.
AEW Dynamite did 804,000 viewers.
That's
and they only beat NXT by 10,000 viewers.
Chris was talking about it earlier. It was something around there. I knew it was like 10 or 5 or 15, somewhere. One of those numbers. That says a lot, man, about how fast people bailed on this program. Like, I didn't think the program was that bad until the Mexican gymnastics get involved. And then you lose me. You lose me.
Right. When they break out that shit. When they break out that shit with the sign language and all that other crap, I'm done. His brother, Ray Fenix, isn't that obnoxious, even though he doesn't sell. It's just terrible. It's just what's this?
Whoa.
Wait a minute. Blade McG 4, who's a member of the SCM, just posted 15 minutes ago to Twitter, 3-hour Monday Night SmackDown on USA.
That's what they were saying.
2-hour Friday Night Raw. 2-hour Friday Night Raw on FX.
On FX. Okay. If they would make the show on USA 2 hours, it would be so much better. They think by changing the name of the show is what's going to improve it. It's just so bad. Cut it back to 2 hours. That's it. That's it, Bottles. Take us home, buddy.
And the other big story is the bunny, like you said earlier at the beginning of the program. The bunny's pictures all over Twitter, my Twitter feed right now. All over the Twitter feed. We've got the quarter-hour breakdown for Dynamite. It just came out.
All right, well then let's do that real quick because there's 3, 4 I want to see, right? The first quarter hour, what was it?
The highest. Of the hour. The highest. Well, 892,000 viewers.
Holy shit! They didn't have 900,000.
No, they had 892,000, and that was MJF. The MJF. That was show.
MJF. Yep.
Of course. And then 827,000 for the next 15 minutes at 8:15. That was
that's 70,000 people almost.
Gone, yeah. But it's not that bad. Not that hateful like it usually is. That was the end of the MJF Garcia match. And that was the beginning of Darby Allin and Sting versus the Outrunners. And
I'm going to put it on that.
I will put it on that as drop in views, yes. They when they had the Tony Storm, Hikaru Shida, Wheezy Shivani angle, that was 814,000 viewers. So they lost 13,000.
Not bad.
Then when they did Penta versus Swerve, when that ended, and they had the Golden Jets promo and all that other crap, it actually went up 4,000 viewers to 818.
I would put that on the interview because Kenny Omega actually sounded like he meant business.
At the top of the hour at 9 o'clock, and it was either Scud or Larry said last night, are they putting this Samoa Joe and Keith Lee match at the top of the hour to try to drive the ratings? Well, MFers, it worked. 866,000. They gained nearly 50,000 viewers from this. So it just goes to show you that when Dynamite's on, people are just jumping back and forth between channels.
Look, I like Samoa Joe. Don't get me wrong. I like him. It's just until he wears a world strap that's worth something, he's just going to always be a mid-carder and an upper mid-carder in my mind. He just is.
Or the guy who can't get it done in the big game.
Exactly, because he always loses the big match.
Right. So when the Bollywood boys took on the Guns in the next 15 minutes, they lost almost 100,000 viewers. They're down to 769.
I'm not surprised. That dude, the caveman, has go-away heat, man. I'm telling you. He has go-away heat. It ain't just me.
Or the Guns have go-away heat.
No, I like the Guns. That dude has – I have no desire to see the caveman. None.
But they wrestled the Bollywood boys, a team that no one knows who they are.
I don't care.
They were just
it was a squash match. It was a squash match. That's what I wanted to see.
Now, Don, this is when we bottomed out. This is when we hit the bottom.
The low of the low.
We scraped the bottom of the septic tank with this next one. 696,000 viewers. They lost, I'm doing the math in my head right now. What did they lose? They lost 130,000 viewers? No.
What match was this? This was the women's match, right?
Yeah. Red Velvet, Julia Hart. Then Willow Nightingale came out with Sky Blue and Statlander, and then they brought in Mariah May for a little backstage angle, and they had an ad break, and they began the ring introductions for Briscoe versus Jay White.
Yep.
And when Briscoe fought Jay White, it went up a little bit to $750.
Yeah, I mean, get rid of the women's division, man. You don't have enough. You just don't. They're great arm pieces. That you got a few women in there that are attractive. That can be a great arm piece for the men to walk down the ring. You just don't have great performers.
They have, well, it's not the fact they don't have great performers. They don't have great stars. They don't know how to build stars.
Oh,
That's the issue. He's building stars with people that were stars in other federations. Joe, Sting, Ric Flair. By the way, Ric Flair is coming January 6th. That's his next appearance. His next appearance for this company.
You've got to say that differently. You can't say he's coming. You got to say he's going to be on the show. Otherwise, we're going to get lawsuits. I don't need sexual harassment charges on behalf of Ric Flair's suits, man. I don't
People
need that
say,
shit.
Flair's coming again? Again? What's he taking? What's in those energy drinks?
Apparently lion hair, some shit.
They're grinding up Blue Chew, stale old Blue Chew from the Blue Chew
something
factory.
called lion hair.
Dropping it in. Lion's mane.
Lion's mane, that's
mushrooms is what's in there.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not taking that shit.
And copious amounts of caffeine. Of fungus and caffeine. It's got to be great for you. So his next appearance is going to be January 6th. Another great investment for Tony Khan.
Yeah.
January 6th. October, November. When did he sign him? Beginning of this month? Or was it
ago?
A week ago. When did he make his first appearance? The end of October? End of October. October, November, November, December, December, January. 3 months he makes his next appearance. Yeah. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Well, what else you got?
Tune in tomorrow, boys and girls. We'll be back.
You got it, folks. See you later. Oh.
Nope.
Please like. Give us a thumbs up.
Yes.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Yet,
we love
subscribe.
having you guys here with us, man.
Yes. Don needs the money for the Wild Turkey 101. We got to keep him flush in bourbon. Yeah, he's getting low. He'll kill that tonight. Please give us a like. When you give us a like, it reflects in your search bar, your recommended videos. When you Google on YouTube Pro Wrestling, will come up if you give us a like. So please do that, and let's turn it over to Gordon Soley.
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.